Hello YouTube community, it's me. It's been a long while since we last, last seen you guys, well, seen you virtually, but I mean, you get what I'm saying. It's been a long time since I've put a video up, I know. And I wanted to say hello to all the subscribers out there who regularly watch my channel or have discovered my channel through a particular interest I've got. Thanks for the viewing and thanks for the subs. And I hope you're all well. Excuse me, I've got the winter colds and the lurgies, being it November over here in the UK. Anyway, I wanted to explain to you briefly why I haven't done any model railway related stuff videos. I've done some uploads in terms of underground stuff, but the main reason why I haven't been able to do any running is because my dear old Gagemaster DS controller that I mentioned previously a while back in the video, I finally got round to sticking it in the post back to Gagemaster, and it's over a week later, just under a week actually. They fully repaired and rectified the fault inside, and there were some transistors and some components inside that had broken down and completely failed. So they basically refitted some new ones, and basically, as good as new, gave it a new lease of life. So I've got my Gagemaster transformer back. It's all wired in as of yesterday, and it's working. So if I just stop the video very shortly, I'll come back to you very shortly in a bit. Okay, sorry about that. That was my little go outside interruptions. Anyway, on with the show. So I thought today, now we've got our controller wired into the layout and everything's working, I thought I'd share with you some new purchases that I've been able to manage recently. And these are great ideas, I think, for everyone, both young and old. And I want to direct this video today in terms of YouTube community for model railway modelers who are just starting out in the hobby, or maybe have been doing the hobby for a long time but can't really afford to splash out too much at the moment, getting near Christmas, in terms of buying new stuff for the layout. So what I'm going to do now is show you some really great budget ideas from Hornby. It's the Hornby Railroad range, but some really nifty little ideas in terms of for your layout, or even some Christmas present ideas for your special friend or loved one out there. I'm sure this will come in nice and handy. Anyway, the first of which I've been after for a long time, since 1987 when it first came out in the Hornby catalogue, and there's been opportunities in the past to buy this particular loco, but I never got round to it. And recently I noticed in the current Hornby railroad range that's available through the Argos catalogue company, you can buy this particular loco, and it's in there for a very reasonable price, and it's one of these, the one and only, ladies and gentlemen, the fastest pocket rocket in the West. It is none other than Smokey Joe. There he is, brand new Smokey Joe. So I'm quite honoured to get this engine. It's got legendary status, and it's going to go perfect for the layout, and it's a little bit of fun, and I like it. It's a nice little black 040 pug. I've got a couple of these now, so I'm going to get this out of the box in a moment and give you a good old look at this engine. Like I said, this approximately costs $32.99 in the UK through Argos, and I think this is a brilliant little affordable Christmas present for somebody, like I said, or if you're on a budget for buying stuff for the layout and can't afford to splash out sort of £100 and over, this might be something ideally for the layout. I mean, it's surprising how much fun you can have with this cheeky little engine. Anyway, I'm going to show you this out the box very shortly. And I've also got some other bits and pieces to show you, which I bought on eBay for a great deal. So stay tuned, and I will just get this out the box. Go and make yourself a cup of tea. Okay, guys and girls, welcome back. Well, here is Smokey Joe at the box. The box is nothing special. It's just that you saw it earlier, but it comes with an insert tray, so it's well and truly well packed. When you receive it, so it's not going to get broken. There's not much on these models, to be honest with you, these railroad range models, to be broken or damaged off anyway. But what I like about these 040s, they may be small, but don't underestimate these. These are really cheeky, very character orientated engines. I think they're lovely, and it's a dear little thing. And look at that, I mean, that's really cute. I like that, and it's in black, it's in British Railways black. And if we look at the the actual model itself in a minute. I'll take the camera about and we can have a little look. But she may be small, but don't underestimate her. So if we just go for a wander with the camera in a minute, I'll just stop it again, so bear with me, and we can go and have a little look. Right then, here is Smokey Joe in all his glory. Okay, so as mentioned, it's an 040 Pug, and it's obviously a very short wheelbase loco. And if you look at the front here, it's got some nice rivet detail on the smoke box door end and around the front. A nice Victorian looking chimney, which is quite nice in terms of height. Nice little moulded but believable water filling cap, where the water crane would go in there, the leather hose, and fill up the boiler with the water. Some brass safety valves on the dome there, and a nice separately fitted brass whistle there. There isn't any glazing on this model in terms of the cab windows because it's quite prototypical. And this particular number of this Pug is 56025 Smokey Joe. And this has been in the Hornby range for a long time now, I think from 1987 onwards. But it's quite a popular model, and like I said, it's unique because it's the way it's been hastily decorated down the side of the boiler tank by some young cad in the shed, obviously towards the end of steam. Gave it a little bit of glamour. So there we go. On looking at the running plate, you've got this, excuse me, a little bit of riveted detail on the buffer end there, and as we move down the running plate, there's a little bit of detail, for example the leaf springs there. Not much there, but I mean there is a tiny bit of relief there. Some fake moulded coal in the top there, and it matches on the other side. Overall the paint finish on this is nice. It's actually quite a nice satin matte finish. Obviously nothing too shiny. You could weather it if you wanted to. Personally, I'm not going to. And when you buy this, you do get the locomotive crew included and the vacuum pipes, which I've separately fitted on the front, there being one, and at the rear of the Pug. Let's get it in the light so we can see what we're looking at. Eh? Where is it? On the back there. Sorry about this. Let's bring it into the light. That's better. As you can see there, there's the other vacuum pipe. I've also fitted my crew, which I've hand painted. These come as the standard black Hornby standard loco crew that you get with it. I painted mine, so I'm going to bring mine up in the lamp underneath here, and hopefully you'll be able to see what's going on in terms of colour. I've given them a face colour, overall colour. And oops, this is a bit difficult, I'm so sorry. This really isn't great with this light, but you might be able to catch on what I'm talking about. Here we are. I've just basically painted them a dark blue and given them a little bit of relief in terms of the face colour. Oh come on, you stupid blooming thing. All I want to do is get a light shot. That's all I want, you bugger. Right, there we are, that's better. My camera's about to die any minute now, so I'm going to pause this and charge it up, and I'll show you what else I've got for the budget this November. So that's part of the budget, and like I said, there's something else that goes with this that I also got for a great deal on eBay, and just goes to show you haven't got to spend fortunes on your rolling stock and locos. Anyway, I'll see you in a bit when I go and plug this in, and by the miracles of time travel, when you next watch this, it will be like 10 seconds after. Alright, so I'll see you soon, and I'll be back. Okay, quickly before my battery does die, I'm going to use the last remaining 2 minutes to show you. There we go. I wanted to show you the highlight of the hand painted job I did on those fireman and driver footplate crew there. It's amazing what a little bit of paint does, isn't it? And there we go. Right, I'm definitely going to plug this in now. So I will see you very shortly. Hi everyone, welcome back to the second part there. And now I'm going to show you another budget item that you can get for your layout, and just there's available some great deals out there, and just what can be achieved with some very simple budget items. Now, as mentioned, the Hornby Railroad range 040 Pug Smoky Joe Argos catalogue range, $32.99. There you go. It's quite reasonable. You probably can get those second hand, I imagine, on eBay or elsewhere. But one in brand new condition, certainly I think is not bad. That's quite reasonable for the price. If you went to Amazon or elsewhere, I'm sure they'd be slightly more expensive. Like I said, at the moment, if you live in the UK, have a little browse on Argos. They haven't got much in the Hornby range, but what they have got, certainly an 040 for 32 quid, and a few pennies more, is certainly, in my opinion, that's quite reasonable. Anyway, the second budget item I want to show you today, which I think is quite good, again is from the Hornby Railroad range. And this wasn't bought from Argos, this was bought from eBay as a brand new item from the seller, who basically, I think he'd split it from a box set in his model shop, and he was selling them off as individual wagon packs. And the advertised item was for 2 wagons, which was a Lomac and an empty coal wagon, 2 wagons for £9.95 with no postage to pay. So I thought, it's not too bad. 2 brand new wagons for just under a tenner, by 5p less. That's not too bad. Alright, okay, I'll have those. So anyway, I was quite surprised when the following package came in the mail, and I'll show you why. So this came in the post, obviously done up in a box, which was quite nice, but when I opened up the tape and everything, this was in here. As you can see, it's not the original box. What the model shop seller did was use this box, obviously, to protect the wagons inside. So I was quite surprised when I took the lid off, because not only were they very nicely packaged, I wasn't expecting what I found inside in terms of contents. Now, I asked for 2 wagons, so I'll just take you through and run you through what happened when I opened up the box. So obviously I've done this, and I've pulled them out, and I thought, okay, there appears to be one, which is a nice little Lomac. Look at that, that's not bad, is it? This could be weathered, certainly. It's a nice little brand new Lomac wagon. It's got the old style Airfix couplings on there, which I think this is where it's tooled from. Obviously, being Hornby Railroad range, they took all the tooling off the Lima and Airfix. But I think this is quite a nice little addition. Certainly can be weathered, the container on there, but I like that as it is. I've actually super glued mine in place because this came loose in the box, so I've put a bit of super glue to keep the container, as it were, stable and secure on the Lomac floor. So that was one item that I expected to get, which was advertised. The other advertised item was, let me just get it out of the box, was this. That was the second advertised item. Oops, it's just got coupled up there. Let me just unhook that with one hand. Yeah, that's better. There we go. It's quite bog standard. It's a coal wagon. So obviously it's Welsh coal, Swansea, and it's very basic in terms of wagon wise. It's great to put real coal in there, I'd imagine. You can weather that up. Not too sure about the chassis. It looks like it's been nicked from a guard's van or something like that. Very, very unusual wagon chassis there. Like I said, I think it's from a brake van, because as far as I'm aware, correct me if I'm wrong, but most coal wagons didn't have riding boards on the lower part. So that's interesting. That's obviously been pinched off a brake van idea and plonked on there. But anyway, that's quite colourful. Adds a bit of colour to the old goods traffic. So there's me 2 wagons. Like I said, £9.95. But wait, there was more in the box. You heard right, there was more. When I undid the rest of this bubble wrap, I thought, hello, what's this in here? What else have they put in here? For obvious reasons, I'm not going to name the shop on eBay, because I think they've made a cock up. that was in there. A brand new Toad. Look at that. Brand new Toad brake van. Now that is definitely worth having. I've got one of these in a lighter grey colour that came with the Tipfield Thunderbolt set. But this is nice. Well and truly happy with that one. So we've got a nice brand new Toad brake van, guards van, and like I said, we've got a coal wagon and a Lomac and an 040. So really, just under 42, 43 quid, we've got a nice little assembly. Like I said, you don't have to spend that much. I mean, you can buy these, obviously you can buy them separately, but that's how much I spent roughly on everything I've shown you today. But I mean, look at this. I mean, I wasn't expecting a free wagon to be thrown in. And like I said, I'm not going to name the model shop on eBay who did this deal, but I'm sure if they found out, they'd think, oh, that wasn't meant to be in there. Maybe it was, I don't know. But there we go. So that's my little budget bundle, and these are all Hornby Railroad range wagons as well. So nothing's designed on here to be sort of fiddly or separately fitted to break off. In terms of detail, let's go back to this Toad brake van for a minute. There's some nice chassis detail there. My little workbench lamp can pick that out, hopefully. There we go. Some nice rivet detail on there. Everything on there that you'd expect. No, it's quite a nice model. Inside, obviously, we can see the old handbrake lever. Running number on there, 68566 Gloucester, Great Western, 20-ton Toad brake van. There we go. So that's quite nice. And it makes a nice little ensemble. Only 3 wagons, but it's typical of a sort of a country rural freight service maybe. And if you've only got sort of very short sidings, I'm sort of thinking, as I'm doing this video, I'm thinking of sort of the younger viewers out there that are possibly going to be getting a train set for Christmas, or mum and dad are going to be thinking about buying you one of the train set of some sort for Christmas, and it comes with a little siding extension. This is a sort of thing you can go for. Very short little rake of goods vans and goods traffic vehicles, and certainly something that would be very useful on anyone's layout, I think. What I would say is, being as these are Hornby Railroad range models, as I mentioned a million times, I think these are absolutely perfect for the old airbrush or for dry weather brushing sort of ideas. You can take a sort of dry paint or dry brush and weather these up with some coal dust, for example, like I did on mine, or you can use an airbrush and completely respray them. It's up to you what you do with them. Me personally, I'm keeping mine as they are. I quite like them. They're quite cheerful. So there we are. And what I'll do, I'll stop this camera for a second and I'll bring it over to the layout, and you can see Smokey Joe having a little run round with these little 3 behind it. Okay, so stay tuned for the finale. And there we go. So there's old Smoky Joe, the 040, with a little rake of wagons behind it and a free Great Western tow brake van result. Coming through the station now. It's quite smooth. Like I said, having a decent controller sort of helps as well, because the standard Hornby controller you can't get that much of a slow speed out of. Whereas something like a Gauge Master or a Morley, you can. Okay. Excuse me. That's too much clinker in my firebox. Tiny bit of hesitance over that point there, but that's to be expected with these 040s. You know, they are a little bit prone to stalling on install frog points. I did rewire one of them if you look at one of my other videos on the channel, but this one is getting untouched. It's leaving as it is. It's got a little character of its own. Reminds me of Percy. That's the sad thing. I'm not sure if, before I go, I'm not sure if you've heard in the model railway press, but as of December this year, Hornby, bloody hell, I'd die first. Not sure if you've heard out there. Before I go, as mentioned, I was going to tell you that Hornby are no longer making Thomas the tank engine items in terms of locos this year. December next month is the cut-off period when they stop making Thomas and Friends. So if you want your Hornby Thomas loco, then you've got to buy it now. My best place would be go to Argos, because Argos are doing a nice bundle with the Thomas and the Clarabelle set, and you get some buildings and bits and pieces with it for a nice bundle. But after December, it will be Bachmann, I'm afraid, if you want Thomas stuff. But anyway, that's a separate issue. I think I better go and get some cough medicine before I collapse and die on you. I don't want to do that, for goodness sake. So anyway, hope you've enjoyed the video. And there is my 040 Smoky Joe with some wagons, as mentioned, all by Hornby Railroad Range. Very basic, but again, a nice little addition to the layout. All the best, and I'll see you soon.